Hey, good afternoon, all. Good afternoon. Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Listen, thanks for joining me today. Today is an exciting day. Today is an exciting day because I wrote this book and I launched it actually last week. And it's getting quite a lot of traction. As a matter of fact, couple of agents text me. One called me actually because they actually want me to help them with a particular case. It's a big one. But this came from this agent reading, this book, which you're going to kind of go over briefly as to the reason why I did this. And I knew it was going to help people because I apply it myself. I've been in business now for about 17 years, right? And there's a lot of things that agents go through in this industry. And a lot of it is most of the time they have bad training. Um, their manager kind of just want to throw you, you know, in there into the fire and have you figure it out. But let me start off by because some of you guys who are watching this know me. You follow me for a while, but most of you guys do not know who I am, right? And I just want to briefly introduce myself, tell you a little bit more about my background, and then we kind of like proceed, with this. But some of you guys may not know. You might know by the last name. But I'm originally from Nigeria. I came here at the age of 5 years old, I believe. Right. Went through elementary school in this country, middle school. Actually, elementary school and middle school was kind of like a little culture shock. A lot of teasing. Just trying to get acclimated to America, and we moved around a lot. But I've always had this drive in me. I'm so ultra competitive, and I've been that way. My mom would tell you the same thing, right? I've been that way since I was little. So, which kind of I guess the reason why I'm here today, to be honest with you. But what I want to talk about is, because I meet different agents, and most of them are not under my agency because I do a lot of I go to a lot of conferences, I go to a lot of seminars and training classes and things like that, and I meet a lot of different people, and they're asking for pointers and how am I doing what I'm doing and things like that. So the essence of this book is how an agent can thrive, right? How a brand new agent can make $10,000 in their first month without leads. We are in this culture now, in this industry where everything is driven by leads. Like they want you to buy leads, they want you to buy leads, they want you to buy leads. Everybody went away from the way it was and the way it worked. You understand? So um the book itself is actually changing a lot of lives right now. A lot of people are excited about it right now. I'm actually excited because come next year, I'm actually putting out a full course, and the one next year is for the people who actually now want to scale, want to elevate, want to go from 250, want to go from 100K to 250K to 500K. You understand? So I'm going to release that. You guys look out for that coming soon. I'm going to release that. But you guys, give me 1 second here, and let me put my information here in the chat, right? And if you're watching this and you want to make a change, I want you to type into the chat, I want to win now. Not I want to win. I want to win now. I want you to type that in the chat. I want to win now. I don't want to wait for 2 months from now, 3 months from now, or a year from now. I want to know the game today, and I want to start winning today. And that's what the book is about. It's going to give you pointers and strategies that you can apply today, and you can start writing policies and protecting family. I'm gonna put my information in here, guys. So that way, if you guys want to get the book, or not even if you guys want to get the book, you guys should get the book. Okay, just email me or text me. I want to win now, and then we'll communicate and get you the book. It is an ebook. It's a smooth, easy read, right, is a smooth, easy read that you can actually go into each chapter and start to apply something from each chapter. And I don't do guarantees. I don't do guarantees, but I'm willing to bet the agent there's going to be quite a few people who read this book, and there's going to be a breakout year for them. It's going to be a breakout year for their upline and their manager. This agent is going to totally fully transform. So let me type in my phone number here, my work number. You can text me on that number if you want the book. Or you can also email me. So give me 1 second. Perfect. Chad says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chad. What's the cash out for the book? Oh, give me 1 second here. Um, Perfect. All right, that is the cash app for the book. $Titan Maximus one. Okay. If you guys want the book, so far 25 so far since last week Wednesday have been sold, and so far I've heard from about 5 agents. And actually, I have a young lady who's a client of mine. She also designed hats, right? And she was interested in the book, and she said, and she texted me. She's like, this book is not only for agents, you know, because she sells hats, so she's in sales, she's in business, and she's like, I'm gonna start applying this right away. So even though I have on there, you know, how a licensed agent can start to make money or start to make 10K, you know, in the next 30 days, you know, a lot of people are realizing that, hey, this is not, you know, just for life insurance agent. You know what I'm saying? So, Chad, how much is it? I'm glad you asked because this Black Friday is coming up, right? So the book itself is actually 69.97. But for the people who are on the chat, who are on this live today, I'll let the book go for 49.97. So let me see price 49.97. Perfect. All right. And listen, the value you're gonna get from this book, and I'm gonna share some personal numbers because you know you have a lot of these people who get on here, oh, do this, oh, do that, and then you ask them, hey, okay, well, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And they ghost, right? So I'm gonna share some personal numbers, just so because I'm a broker, just so you guys know. So I write for like multiple different carriers, but more so, mainly 4, out of maybe 10 or so that I have, but 2 is my main source. You know what I'm saying? But now let me say this. So when a brand new person start in the industry, right? Um, most of the problem is they don't know who to contact. They don't have any leads. They don't know how to contact people. They're afraid to contact people. You understand? What my book is gonna do for you is eliminate the fear, right? There's strategies in there that I will show you to not only eliminate the fear, but start to build confidence based on results that you're going to start getting right away. You understand? A lot of them are also overwhelmed by a lot of agents watch this person, watch that person, listen to this person, listen to that person, and they just overwhelmed by too many gurus, too many information, right? And then a lot of them, listen, so you guys may not know, especially in the insurance industry, but just sales period, right? But specifically in the insurance industry, they call it the 8% nation for a reason. Because only 8% of the people stay past 5 years. So for 100 people get into the insurance industry at the same time, only 8 will last. The rest fall off. And a lot of it is because they're not succeeding and they're not thriving. And that's kind of like what I want to help people with. You understand? And it doesn't matter if you're part of my agency or you in a different agency. You understand? When people are winning, I love it. When people are excited about life, I love it. You understand? So to me, and again, I meet so many people, whether it's at conferences, whether because I qualify for a lot of trips because I write for different providers, and I qualify for at least 2 of the provider trips every single year. And people walk up to me, "How you doing? What you're doing? Blah blah blah. You know, I'm not getting this help. I'm not getting the support. They keep telling me to buy leads. I don't have money to buy leads." I had one lady told me one time we was at Boca Raton, and she said my manager told me to buy leads, and I maxed out my credit card. I'm in debt. I don't know what to do, and I felt bad for her. And this was September of last year. This is a real talk. This is a real story. September of last year, and I said, you know what? Bump those leads. I said, as a matter of fact, I didn't really say bump those. I said, hey, put those leads to the side. I'll show you how to come back to that later. I want you to do this. And this lady now, from making no sales in the year and a half that she's been in the industry, from making 0 sales, I gave her 2 tidbit tips. She's averaging 5 to 8 grand a month. Okay, from that, it came to a point where she asked me, "Oh, can I get transfer under you?" I was like, "No, we don't do that here." You understand? So, but yeah, I don't mind helping. You know, her manager's cool. You know, I like a manager. You know, but you know, some people just need different direction. And I've been around for 17 years. You understand? I started the industry without leads, and I survived for 10 years without leads. And then I did buy some leads, but I saw the cost of the lead. You know what I'm saying? And I dropped. So for the past 2 years, I haven't used any leads, and I've made multi-6 figures. And I'll go over some numbers. I'll go to my year to date so far with just 2 of my providers. Right? With just 2 more, I'll go over that in a minute. Right? And you know, a lot of the agents right now are just feeling kind of. You got some people who are like just they here, but they just like lingering. They're lost. You know, you see them at conferences. You say, "Hey, what's going on with you? You know, what you doing lately? Oh, still trying to figure it out." I'm like, wow, okay, cool. So they just here. They want to be here. They love the industry. They love everything. They want to help people. They're excited, but they're not getting the results. You know, they're not able to find people, or when they do sit in front of people, they don't know what to say or how to build relationship, which is actually also in my book. Like, so it's not just about how to get the client, it's about how to build a long-term relationship with the client. That's how you're going to consistently make 100K plus a year, is when you learn to not be a I don't know, a agent who just ghosts after you write a sale. You understand? So yes, all these things are going to be. One young lady out of Georgia, she got my book. She said, "Maxwell, you just unload on them, huh?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She said, "Maxwell, number one, why are you only charging $69 for this book? Especially when you put, like, this information is going to make somebody 250K. She's like, "This is like a $400 book, $500 book." I'm like, wow, okay. Like, she going through the chapter like this right here, because I just took what I've used the past 17 years, but specifically the past 24 months using social media, using AI and and learning marketing. You don't need leads. You will be extremely profitable. When you cut, I know people who buy 30 grand a year worth of leads just to make 100. And then you factor in sometimes if the client cancels. So let's say 10% of your business come back. That's an additional $10,000. So you spend 40 grand just to make 60. That doesn't make any sense. But if you can make 100 grand and let's say 10% cancel on you, you still go home with 90. But the thing I love about not using leads and you generating your own personal clients is when you generate your own personal client, the drop rate of clients is so much lower because there's a relationship built there. There's a relationship that was built. These are not random people. When somebody don't know you, it's easier for them to walk away from you. But when you build relationship and you make that person feel safe and secure, it's very hard. I've had clients who they say, "Oh, this agent called me and want to meet with me." I told them, "Don't ever call my number again. I got a great agent." Yeah, because you build relationship. And that's the essence of this business. It's like you want to be waking up to referrals. I don't buy leads at all anymore. I don't know how many referrals I got this week. Got to be at least 5 or 6. Closed 2 already. Scheduled for 1 for next week already. So out of 5 or 6, I've already closed 2. I got an appointment for another one. I'm still from another one without leads. The 2 that I closed was about 5,000 in AP. 0 leads. 0 leads. Okay. Now, in this book, I'm going to show you a bunch of things. But again, you want to understand that people, they buy policies, but they buy you first. I want you to understand that, which I talk about in the book. Listen, I'm actually thinking about upping the price of this book. the more I talk about this, I'm thinking about upping the price of this book because it's going to be so many. I did a review with a client of mine the client husband reached out to me because the wife wanted a policy for the mother. So we sitting there, we chatting. The kids are coming out from the room. I said, "Oh my God, they got tall." And I was like, "How long have I known you guys?" And he was like, "Man, it's been at least 15 years. At least 15 years. The kids are growing up now, things like that. The oldest, I'll probably be doing a policy for that individual because they're going to graduate school, about to start jobs. This is what building your personal brand, building personal relationship, this is what it's going to do for you. Most of these people who buy these leads, they buy the leads, they sell the people, and then goes. They're out of there because the person's a stranger to the agent also. You understand? So there wasn't nothing really built there, right? Let me say this. Most agents, I want you to hear this very clearly. Most agents are fishing in an ocean. I teach you how to fish in an aquarium. I want you to let that sit in. All right? Most agents are fishing in the grandiose ocean. I teach you how to fish in an aquarium. You're one script away from closing your first $3,000 to $10,000 a month. My book is not only going to show you how to find clients, It's also going to show you how you now how to now attract high ticket paying client. I just had a call today. I wish I could play it because there's some personal information on here that this gentleman was telling me. But again, it was a young lady who I met in Georgia. It was a young lady. My phone's going to be going off all day today. Sorry about that, guys. It's a young lady who I met in Georgia. She referred me this gentleman, right? The gentleman been a client now for 2 years. This gentleman probably has 6 policies with me. 6 policies with me, right? They're all index universal life policies. Him, the wife, the 3 kids. He texted me today. He got a settlement, or he's getting a settlement sometime next month. And they're already calling him, oh, we can connect you with this financial guy. It's like, I got my guy. I got my guy. You understand? $460K settlement. He called me Mr. Maxwell, even though we were on the same age. He said, listen, I'm going to follow your advice. I know you know what to do. When this thing comes through, just let me know what to do. This is what building relationship means. Because if I just sold him a policy because he's a stranger, I didn't build a relationship. Once he got that settlement, he would have went with whoever the advisor that these people that he getting the settlement through is sending him to. My book will change as a matter of fact, if you're watching this, I want you to, once you buy this book, I want you to document your journey, because I would like some of your testimonial to be in my course that I'm going to do next year. Because I know for sure there's going to be many lives changed who is watching this stream next year. There's going to be some of y'all don't even know it, but you got the market. But because you're not trained properly to how to find the market, or even if you don't have the market, there's something deep inside of you that you don't even know you have. You can be a marketing guru right now. You don't even know that you have that in you until you start to learn how to do it. I didn't know I'm able to do this, what I'm doing right now, until I start to figure it out. So, oh my God. Now it's just like, there's things I'm going to teach you about texting in there. There's things I'm going to teach you about how to relate to individuals in there. There's things I'm going to teach you as to how your client can start to go to work for you because they love you and they love what you did for them. So many things, so many gems, right? So many gems. Here's the deal. Most agents don't get past the learning curve until around year 4 or 5. This will immediately cut that learning curve out the way. Instantly, you're starting to make money. Most agents, because of bad training, I'm a prime example. I got into this business. A good friend of mine recruited me into this business. And then she abandoned me. I had to figure it out. You understand? Like she brought me into this business. Less than 6 months later, she jumped ship because she wasn't rich overnight. And what I'm teaching you guys right now is what I've learned for the past 17 years. So you don't have to go through all of that. I'm excited for y'all. If you're watching this, I am excited for that first month, hopefully December. December should be a great month. Yes, Chad, we got to fish where the fish are starving and biting. I love that. I love that. Some of y'all will have an awesome December. Some of y'all going to have the best Christmas that you've ever had. Because guess what? you're going to pay for gifts with cash. You're not going to use credit cards because you made so much. Not only that, some of y'all will probably be getting the best gifts for your spouses, for your children. I want you to, fellas, if you're watching this, I want you to imagine, and I don't know, I don't, I'm not materialistic, but, the woman in your life, Christmas comes, and you got her a nice Coach or Louis bag. Can you imagine how much supportive she'll be of your business? Or Christmas come and you lay those tickets down on the table, baby. You've always wanted to go to Hawaii. I booked the trip. Everything's paid in full. We're heading to Hawaii in a month or two. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Some people have to plan 2 years to go to Hawaii. I go to Hawaii every year, and I just decided that I want to go, and I just buy the ticket, and I'm out. Hawaii is expensive. You're probably going to spend for 2 people close to $8,000. This is the kind of lifestyle you're about to start getting into off of this book. You understand? So if you're watching this and you know of other agents that need this, get them on this live right now. Miss Shirley, I agree. Building relationship is a key component to longevity in sustaining and building your client base. I haven't been active in almost 2 years and still get referrals from previous. Exactly. This is what this business does for you, right? Now, my book also, and I hate to say this because I'm not a fan of leads, but sometimes, and we'll talk about that in my course next that I'm going to release, right? But what it does is because most agents come in, most people get into this business out of necessity. They come into this business because they need a life change. They come into this business because they're struggling. Right now in America, people are struggling. There's only one business that we know of in America that's recession-proof. That's the insurance industry. There's only one business that we know of right now in America that's recession-proof. That is the insurance industry. But when most people get in here, they are struggling. They are in a deep hole. I remember I was watching a podcast one day, and it was a gentleman, older gentleman in his 50s, and he got into the insurance industry. You know the reason why? He said he was $300K in debt with the IRS. The guy had a restaurant business. He closed that restaurant business down. He heard from a good friend, well, he heard and saw a good friend of his living a good lifestyle. And he joined this individual in the insurance industry. And in less than 5 years, he was able to pay off his debt with the IRS. You understand? And I'm listening to this guy's story. And all he kept on talking about was building relationship, which is which is what's in my book. It's going to show you how to build the relationship, how to hold on to the relationship, how to love on your clients, because your clients are your lifeblood. Your clients will make you wealthy. So you don't need leads. Your client will make you wealthy. Most agents are spending thousands of dollars on leads. Thousands of dollars. On top of that, and I hate to say this, because I'm sure some people probably on here will probably in my agency, right? I'm a hard worker. I work my tail off. But when you buying leads, you're dialing for hours and hours and hours. But when you implement the strategy in my book, and again, I hate to say this, you're probably going to be working less than 30 hours a week to make 100 grand a year. You're going to be working less than 30 hours a week, and you're going to make about $2,500 a week working less than 30 hours a week. To make 10 grand a month by way of leads, you're going to have to spend at least $2,000 minimum, and you're going to be on them phones for 60 hours. And if anybody's watching this and they're a lead junkie, I apologize. I'm just giving you another avenue. If you're a brand new agent, I'm telling you right now, there's still hope for you. You don't have to give up. But if you buy my book, I'm telling you right now, it's like your life is just going to change overnight. But not only buy it, you got to read the book. It's not just buying the book and put it and just whatever. You got to implement what's in there. As a matter of fact, just implement the things in the first few chapters alone would change the game for you. The gentleman that called me last week about the big sale that he got this week coming up, he said, Max, I've only read like chapter 5, and I implemented the one texting strategy that you said in that book, and it got me this guy who's not only a potential IUL case, he also has $400K for a potential annuity rollover. It's a lot of marketing strategy in that book that you're going to learn, and you will never need leads again. Right? Again, we're going to talk about scaling. We're going to talk about scaling, but just to keep it simple, we're going to, because when I hear scaling, I'm thinking 250 and above. Okay. It's, 100K is an accomplishment. It's an achievement. Less than 10% of the country makes 100K. Less than 10%. So when you join that club, it's an achievement. This is my second ring here, right? They give you one when you make 100K. Then once you make 250K, they give you one when you get to 300,000. They put the little diamond on that same 250K. You get to a $500,000, you get another ring. All this stuff that certain companies do, right? So yeah, listen, and I know a lot of people when they get into the industry, especially with certain companies, right? Oh, call your friends and family, right? Things like that, right? Imagine making $10,000 in 1 month without begging family and friends. I started this industry in the initial beginning with them having me to make a list of my friends and family and call, right? I quickly got over that. To now, fast forward, my friends and family are the one calling me because they need insurance. And that's what you will learn in this book. You literally will not even be looking at the direction of your friends and family. You should write them because you want to protect the people who are close to you first. You should, but you're not begging them to do business with you, right? So, along with, and most agents don't know this, right? This business is also a business where ultimately you start to build residuals and renewals, and you paid on it. This is why getting to that 100 grand pace consistently would now start to make you automatically a 100K earner every single year, because that book of business for that 1 year pays you a percentage again the following year and the following year and the following year, right? Right? I have two agents right now who I'm working with. Okay. They're about to retire in a few. And I say, hey, listen, the game plan is this. Because they're part-timers, right? I said, listen, uh, generate 50 grand in income in the insurance industry for the next 10 years. So you retire at 67, 69, right? Now, and you do that 50 grand, 50 grand, 50 grand. This is just a basic plan for them. Now, when we calculated how much their renewals and trail is going to be every single month because of the 50 grand combined book of business that they get paid on every single year, they're going to be collecting about 2 G's a month renewals and trail. So you take that 2 G's a month from the insurance company that you get without you lifting a finger anymore. You take your pension if you have any. I think a couple of them are going to get pension. You're also going to get your Social Security. You're living grand. So again, the book is going to teach you how to build a book of business. Okay? This is the game plan. Building some agents, especially if you're watching this, and let's say you're in your 20s or 30s, or let's say early 40s, and you have you committed to being in this industry for the next 20 years, and you're actually going at it, and you're working, and you're servicing clients, and you're doing 50 to 100 grand a year every single year or more. You're gonna walk out of the industry. Let's say you retire. Let's say you started at 40 as an agent, and you retire at 60. You're probably gonna collect about 8 grand a month in renewals. That's retirement income. Okay, but people see that kind of end game. People see that kind of result that actually go in building the business and working the business. Okay, those are the agents who you see driving the Bentleys, the Corvettes, the Ferraris, living in Potomac, Maryland, over here where I'm at on Bethesda. And you ask them, well, what do you do? Oh, I was an insurance agent. Right? There's a guy that we all go through to do our continuing education out here in Maryland. He was an agent for 30 years. Right? The guy has 3 houses over here in Maryland. Okay, 2 are vacation homes, one in Ocean City, one in Delaware, and then his primary home is in Annapolis, Maryland. And these are not no small little homes. These are big houses. And he ain't sold insurance in over 40, 50 years. Right? So, and a lot of the way he's built this type of stuff is the business he's built from the 80s is when he got into insurance business. He was selling insurance from the early 80s. Mind you, making 300K a year plus without leads, because they didn't have a lead system back in the 80s. You start insurance back in the 80s, they give you a phone book. Boom, start dialing. There's no social media. There's no kind of marketing or ideas that we have now. So agents can actually get to that point quicker and faster without pounding the phone for 12 hours a day. This is the best time to be alive. You are in the best moment of your life right now if you can take advantage of it. And you start to, a lot of people consume information, but people don't apply. Okay? Success happened for you with the application of the knowledge you took in. You can know a lot of things. If you're not applying it, what does it matter? What does it matter, right? I remember closing my first big policy, right? It was 15 grand in commission, and that was a referral. No leads. It was a referral. This is the kind of moment I want you guys to start to experience. We all go through challenges. I went through when I first started this business. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to start. The marketing idea that I know now, I didn't know back then. Again, a friend of mine recruited me into the industry. They abandoned me. They left. I was left alone to try to figure this game out. I wish at that moment somebody had a book that I put out now. I know me. Again, you got listen, you got to be someone who won it. That's number one. Do you want your life to change? That's the question. Are you comfortable where you're at? Do you want your life to change, or are you comfortable where you're at? That's the question. If you want your life to change, then this book will do that for you. I wish I had this book when I first started. I would have been making 100 grand from year one. I probably would have been a millionaire by now, because if I started 17 years ago and I knew what I knew now, and the compoundment of the book of business that I have, plus I would have accumulated more clients back then, I'll probably be a millionaire by now. But again, you learn and you share. There are a lot of gatekeepers. There are a lot of people who are out here who are making money in the industry, and they won't tell you one thing. It's this gentleman one time. He was trying to recruit me, right? Sneakily, by the way. Dropping little likes on my page or whatever like that. And I asked him a question. I was like, hey, let me ask you a question. How many people do you have making dials for you? Never heard from him again. Because I knew what he was doing. But when I watch him do his training, it's making it seem like he's the only one doing the heavy work. And what I'm talking about right now, it might go over some people's head. I'll go over that in my course next year in reference to scaling. Right? But there are a lot of gatekeepers out here, which I don't understand why. 48% of the country don't have life insurance. There's not enough agents to ever see those people. It's just not enough licensed agents in his lifetime to ever service all them people. So which means there is money out here for everybody. But some people just want to be the one on top of the mountain, and they want you to sweat them. That's all. That's all. Right? My book is simple. It's not technical. Right? It's just simple techniques and simple practices. At the same time, it's fun while you're doing it. And you see what I mean when you grab the book. You're actually having fun doing it. The way I open conversation with my client, the way I guide my clients through the process, like, if you knew the real secret behind my first 10K month, you would never buy leads again. and I put that in there. It was so simple. You run around crazy, raggedy, or they tell you, oh, do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. And I say, okay, you know what? Nah, 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 nah. I got to take control of myself and my business, right? Okay, I got to take control of myself and my business, right? If you knew how simple my first 10K month was, and how simple is, and I hate to say this, it sounds crazy when I say it. I'm almost by default walking into 10K every single month now. Easy. Everything else is just extra. It's just extra. As a matter of fact, let me take the moment now to go over some personal numbers with you guys. Let me see. Because again, a lot of people just be out here, oh, I do this or I do that. And I'm going to go through a few providers here. I don't know if you guys can, let me see if you guys can see this. Someone put in the chat, can you guys see this? Yes, no? Somebody? I'm going to just read to you guys. This is one of my provider, right? This is the year to date with them. 171,312.47. $171,312.47 is one of my provider, right? And on top of that, with that same provider, let me see. I hope you guys can see this. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can y'all see that? Someone type in the chat if you can see that. No? Okay. With that same provider, 171, hold on. Let me see. 171,000 for the year paid. And then right now pending. Damn, I wish y'all could see that. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that now? Yes? Okay, I'm gonna read it to you. In pending business right now. So far submitted, and so this was the end of, because last month was a crazy month with the whole shutdown thing or whatever. So this is a collective total amount between last month and this month so far. $47,269 in submitted business with a crazy month with a shutdown, right? No leads whatsoever. No leads whatsoever. I haven't touched a lead in almost 3 years. I'm looking at some agents, that shutdown happened, they just totally just dropped off. It's almost like the world came to an end, right? And it's ways to get around hard times in this business, which is all implemented in my book. It's ways to get around. I started this business in a recession in 2008. We're going through one right now. And what I learned in 2008 is, okay, you have to go through that storm. The same thing now is here, but you have to go through that. Only difference between now and then is I'm going through it smoother because I know what to do. Okay, so that was one provider there, right? 171,000 paid. So far, $47,000 in pending business that's still in underwriting. Now, because of the shutdown, there was some people who say, oh, I fell behind on bills. I don't want to proceed right now. Holler at me, 2-3 months from now. No problem. Those drop off, right? That was about 12K that dropped off from the pending business side, which now left 31,000 some change in pending business, which is still huge in a situation where people were going without pay and I was still working. And I'm telling you right now, and again, I hate to say this because I know some of my agents are probably watching this. I don't do 30 hours a week. I don't. To be able to produce $47,000 in a month and a half without doing 30 hours a week sounds crazy. And without leads sounds crazier. Right? No problem. So that's one company, right? That same company, I also did quite a few annuities with them. Okay. And let me see, because I know some people say they can see it. Some people say it's a glare. I don't know. I don't know why. Let's see here. Come on. Let's see if I. Nope, nope. Oh, right there. Can y'all see that? A little bit. Somebody chat yes, no. Okay, perfect. Now, with the new, also let me backtrack. That same company with that 171,000 is actually more than that. That's how much I was paid. But because 30%, I'm sorry, 27% of my pay from that particular company, I have a retirement savings account with them. So 27% of my pay actually came out before they pay me that 171. You understand? So it's actually more than that. And then if you look at the annuity side, there was no way for me to group it where it shows annually because annuity is just totally kind of like different or whatever. But in how can I show you guys? Let me see. And I like receipts because some people gonna be like, oh, these people just be telling you anything or whatever. Oh my God. This is horrible. I gotta figure out another way. But either way, let's start off with June. So I wrote actually I wrote 5 annuities with them, but 2 fell off because the client's financials wasn't too intact. So they didn't want to give them an annuity. You understand? So that didn't work. But the 3 that I did close so far, and then I have one potential one for 400K by December. But the pay, for example, in June 18th was, picture this. What got deposited was 27,000 into my bank account. Out of that same commission, not the 27,000, but before the 27,000, because that was actually a $37,000. I think it was like $9,000 that got taken out for my deferred comp plan that went into my retirement account. Right. So that was June. Then came September. It was a little small annuity for deposit 3,000 something, but again, I think it was like 5,000 some change because they took money out for my deferred comp plan. Then came October. Then that's showing 9,600. I believe that was a $15,000 commission annuity, right? So you take the 177,000, you add all those up, you're well above. We're well above 200K plus, and that's from the same company. Then we go to like another company that I do a little bit of final experience here and there, and and some clients who don't want to do lab work or who whatever. With that one, year to date right now is, I don't know if it's let me see if I can pull it back a little. Nope, that's not. It's just glaring, right? Anyway, that one year to date is about 51,000 and some change, right? This is all without leads, just so you know. Just so you know. And I'm not the only agent doing this. There's a lot of agents out there who are working businesses without the purchase of leads. They just probably not going to share the information with you guys the way you want to, the way you want to receive it. Let's put it that way. They're going to tell you, oh, I do this, I do that, whatever like that, but it's going to be so vague. It's going to be so vague that you like, you understand? So, I hope you guys are taking this in, and I hope this helped a lot of y'all, to be honest with you, because this is life changing. If you know, I've been in sales for a long time. I started out with auto sales. I was there for 8 years. The same thing with that. I struggled a little bit. And then one day I was watching something, I believe, on YouTube, I believe. And I saw a guy, his name is Bob Proctor, right? And he was selling this course. And the course was supposed to get a person to 100K. And the course was $893. I'm like, yo. But I wanted to hit that 100K so bad. And I saved it. Took me about 4 checks. I think I was taking out 200 every pay to put together to actually buy that course. And it's an old course. This is when, it's a CD, like 16 different CDs in there, and you pop it in. So I used to pop it in every morning when I'm driving to the dealership. I pop it in, I'm listening. I'm going home, I'm popping in, I'm listening. I'm going to the store, I'm popping, I'm listening. And that thing transformed the way I looked at sales in my business, that I ultimately end up, this is almost instantly, 2 months later, being the top used car salesperson at that dealership until I left. So the question I'm going to ask you guys is this: what price are you willing to pay for success? I got people who are saying, oh, Maxwell, this should be $500. And I got people who are saying, oh, why are you selling the book for so much? And I hate to say this, but the ones who are saying, why am I only selling it for $69? I should be selling it for $500, are top earners. And the one who are saying, oh my God, you selling for this much, are not such top earners. The mentality of a top earner is different. One of the gentlemen who bought my book last week was a guy who's already making $300K a year. I'm like, why are you buying this book? This is not for you. He was like, you could always learn something new. You can always learn something new. The guy is raking in $300K plus a year. And he was one of the first ones that purchased the book. No questions asked, Cash App instantly. I'm talking before we left the lunch and learn, Cash App went off. It was him. Right? If you're watching this and you are a new agent, type in the chat new. If you're watching this and you're a new agent, type in the chat new. If you're also watching this and you want to make 10K without buying leads, type in 10K. Type in 10K. And if you've ever been frustrated in the industry, like most of us in the beginning, type in me. Right? Also, too, I kind of want to know where you guys are watching from. What city? What city? I think Chad said he's from the West Coast. West Coast. Okay. And have you ever thought about quitting the industry? Be honest. At some point, we all We all did at some point because it is a business. There's gonna be ups, there's gonna be downs. So it is what it is, right? Right. Um. So listen, I want to say this before I close. This book is not for everyone. It's truly not. It's for serious people who say, listen, I need a change. I This is not my life is not where I want it to be. I need a change. I need to make more money. I gotta start planning for retirement. I had a guy call me today, a referral. I heard you was the man. I'm like, I guess. He's like, all right. So look, listen, I'm 45 years old, and how much can I get for $80 a month? That I can get some money from retirement and blah blah. I was like, so let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. I don't care what you put money in at 45 years old, and you won't retire at 60, which is in 15 years, and you won't put $80 away. You're not going to be able to retire. Now, here's what you can do. I can show you how to get into the insurance industry and maybe part time, make an additional $5,000 a month and start to put away $1,500 a month. That will get you there. He's like, $1,500. Who does $1,500? The person who wants to retire well. That's who. So again, this book is not for everybody. It's for the people who say, hey, listen, the trajectory of my life and where I'm heading is not looking so favorable. I need to make a change. This is who this book is for. If you're not ready to level up, if you're just comfortable and you want to be where you at, this book won't help you because you're probably not going to read it. I'm just going to be honest. I have a library of books. I don't buy any books and not read it because I spent money on it. Every book I have in my house, I've read at least once. Every book from cover to cover. I didn't write this book to babysit agent at all. Like, this is not a babysitting game. Listen, serious people take serious actions. I wrote this book to build winners. A person who wants to live a lifestyle, a person who wants to travel, but not just travel well. When I go to places like Hawaii, St. Lucia, St. Thomas, London, I'm staying at high-end hotels. And I'm not saying to brag. I'm just saying I want to live. I'm just keeping it 100. I like experiences. I want to live. I personally believe that we are all a child of God. And prosperity should be within us. Prosperity should be what we look for and what we aim for as a child of God. God has given you everything you have on the inside to be that. You just got to bring it out. And most people don't want to do that. There are only two types of agents out here. Buyers and criers. And I hate to say that. But the buyers get results. So what do I mean? There are agents who buy everything to learn. I don't know how. I know I spent over $10,000 a year going to courses and conferences to learn about taxes, Social Security, or all these thing makes you valuable to your client. They're not willing to hear anybody else because my agent is superb. Okay? So you have agents who buy books to learn. You have agents who buy conference tickets, convention tickets in the thousands to go learn from top producers, to go learn about the industry, thousands of dollars a year. Then you have the agents who complain, oh, it costs so much, oh, the flight is this, oh, this and that. Okay. Okay. The industry, whether it's insurance or sales, have created the most amount of millionaires. Is the industry that you want to cry about what you need to do to get you there? Okay. I wrote this book because somebody like me needed it back in the day. I wrote this book because I even mentor agents that's not even in my team. I'm helping their upline make money based on things that I know. If you're looking for a shortcut out of this book or out of life, and when I say out of life, I mean like a shortcut for you to kind of get to where you're trying to get to quickly. This book is for that. It will eliminate 5 years of learning curve. So you can get to the bag right now. Right? This year is about to wrap up. And I don't know if you guys have heard the saying, for things to change for you, you have to change. Nothing changes for you until you change. I don't care what president is in office. I don't care what they promise to give you. I don't care about whoever your dating promises get to give you, your mama, your daddy promise to give. Nothing changes for you until you change. And what that means is your mentality, what you're willing to do about life to get ahead, what you're willing to do has to change before life changes for you. If you don't want another year to pass by with excuses, get the book. Get the book. If you're tired of watching other people win, this is your moment. If you're an agent and you're tired of going to conferences, and I wish I had, well, I'm gonna probably put some of my awards. I hate putting it up, but I like so many of them, they just like stack them in the closet. If you're tired of going to conferences and your name has never been called, you're not getting any awards, you're not getting any plaques or trophies, you're not getting free trips to exotic places, you're not getting cash bonus at conference just for you producing. If you're tired of watching other people win, I mean, I've been to conference where I've seen agents say, I'm gonna be there next year, Maxwell, and the next year come, it's still sitting down at the chair. The name's not been called. And they say it again. And I'm looking like, when is the year? When is that year? If you're tired of watching other people win, this is your moment. This is your moment. So listen, I'm wrapping this up. I'm glad you guys got on with me. I really appreciate it. Listen, if you want this book, type book in the chat. And I'm going to put my Cash App again in here so you guys have it. Yes, and at Antoinette, sometimes you have to spend money to make money. That's a fact. That's a fact. And if you're watching this and you're not an insurance agent, you're a beautician, you're a barber, you sell cars, you're a solar panel individual, you're a dentist, or this book, the essence of this book is how to find people to do business with by strategies that I use by way of your phone. Your phone, listen, you're paying $100 a month, whatever you're paying for your phone, right? Well, some of these phones like $1,000, $2,000 for the phone, right? You're paying whatever you're paying, and then a monthly payment to on top of that. Why wouldn't you allow your phone to make money for you? Okay, strategies in there that show you how your phone, how you can use your phone to make you money by way of texting, social media, all these things, right? Right? This is a gold mine for you if you take it on. So listen, guys. Great presentation. Thank you so much, CC. Appreciate it. Yes. Listen, I want to hear from you guys next year. Some of you guys are going to do 100K. Somebody in here is going to do 250. Somebody in here is going to do 250. Somebody here is just going to wild out and do $500,000. That's how amazing that book is. That's how amazing that book is. So listen, guys, have a wonderful one. Thank you guys for joining my live stream. I appreciate it, and talk to y'all soon.